All right, we're here for hopefully here for the 2021 Patriot Brigade information meeting. We're going to wait maybe a couple more minutes, hopefully get some stragglers in. What I am going to do is I'm going to have some older students here. They're going to come up and they're going to grab a packet that says Patriot Brigade handbook and a calendar, and make sure every family gets at least one, if you would, please. And you're fine gentlemen and scholars, no matter what Mr. McLeod tells us. Okay. So I'm going to be, just so everybody knows, I'm going to be over here in this area most of the time. So if you want to come over here, that'd be cool. If you want to stay back there, that's fine too. I understand. That's all right. Either way. We'll get started here in just a couple minutes.
So here I get to be like the resident old man this year.
Yes.
I'll be sure to bring my walker and my rascal and
Perfect.
my poly and all that.
It's supposed to be however
Is Mr. Cook going to be here tonight?
Sorry, who?
Sean?
He's done. This is his last year.
Oh, is it? I need percussion lessons.
Take care of you.
Him?
We'll take care of you.
It's supposed to be however many seats are there. That's how many kids are there. That's not what usually happens. It's just mad grab dash. Everybody says there's a QR code you're supposed to scan into contact trace. I don't know anybody that actually does.
Wow. It's hot tech, man.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. We're going all out. Let's see. Let's move this guy over here. Get me.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, first of all. Tonight's goal, just so you know what we're trying to get through here, is parents, guardians, is just to give you as much information as we can possibly give you about what marching band entails, to also let you ask questions. Students, you are not going to sit here and listen to all of that necessarily. Here in just a minute, once we go through a couple of details about the show again, we're going to dismiss you and you're going to go down to the band room with some staff so that 8th graders, you all can meet some of the high school students that'll be with you next year, and you can all talk to the new staff and ask questions and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so first, just by kind of way of introduction, my name is John Williams. I'm the band director here at Terre Haute North. This is my 7th year. We're going to my 8th year next year. Every now and again, I apparently have a southern accent that I can't shake because I'm originally from East Tennessee, and I don't apologize for that because the South. Anyway, but yeah, I'm here. I have a beautiful wife and 2 kids who thank God take after her on their looks, and they're 10 and 6, and so you'll see them throughout the year as well. My main instrument is trumpet, and so that's me. To my right is Mr. McLeod. I'll let him just kind of yell and talk.
Hi there, guys. Like you said, my name is Mr. McLeod. I'm the assistant band director here at Terre Haute North. I've been here, I guess technically 3 years, but this is technically my second full year being here. I came halfway through my first year. I came in January. But my primary instrument is saxophone, but I also really like clarinet, and I'm okay at flute. I came upon a daughter. I'm getting ready to get married this next year, and I will have a 5-year-old daughter that will.
Is this working?
Oh, there. I will have a. Hello, check. It's not working.
It's
She'll be 5. She'll also be around on occasion. But I'm very much excited for this season. I'm very much excited for some of the faces. I recognize some of you, some of the 8th graders that are here. So that's good.
Okay. Also, we have new to our staff this year. It's Mr. Jeff Winchester.
Yay! My name is Jeff Winchester. I'll be doing percussion this year.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I trumped you on that one. That's awesome.
I did it! I figured it out!
35 minutes. I took awesome. No, I like to have a good time. So I started Northview Tech there, South Vermilion Tech there. I'm here. Overall percussion, I've been doing this about 30 years. We were joking because I'm going to be like the resident old man this year, so there's that. Basically, I'm here to help you guys sound better, feel better, perform better, become better people. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it and say that it's going to be super, super simple, because it's not. We're going to have a lot of good times though. On a random side note, as far as I don't have as many great instruments as he's got, but I have opened for various different bands, Papa Roach, Lincoln Park, Head PE. Yeah, I gotta throw them out there. So been all around the U.S., Canada playing music, so excited to be here. Graduate from Terre Haute North, so it's good to be back home.
And he gets an applause, too. None of the rest of us got applause. Fine. I see how it is. Well, we didn't open for Papa Roach. I guess that's what it is. All right. Are there any guard potentials here tonight? One? Yeah, cool. Oh, you're not a potential. You are. Okay. Our guard staff, I thought, was here. I thought I saw Julie. They're in the aux gym. All right. So our guard staff is returning for this year. Julia Hoopengardner. She's in the aux gym right now, I think getting ready, doing some stuff. I'm not really sure. Okay. So that's kind of our staff and how that will work. Okay. Our show this year, returning people. It's not going to be a big surprise. It's the same show we were going to do last year. Our show this year, what? Is entitled A Pirate's Revenge. So we're really excited about this show. We've got awesome band parents who last year went and built us a ship that has a huge mast that's going to fly a British flag and a pirate flag, both ones. It makes sense with our show. We also have a working cannon that will go boom real big and loud. It doesn't actually shoot anything, but it looks cool and it sounds loud. So we're kind of excited. We got some really neat things in store for all of this, and so the music is already here. So we already have music ready to go, ready to put in your hands. So on that note, we are going to talk about one quick thing. If you'll look at that schedule or the calendar that I gave you before I send the kids away, you'll notice that we have rehearsals in May. And this is something new that we're trying. And what this is that we're going to bring in all of the 8th graders up to the high school and the entire marching band. And we're going to rehearse from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting the second week of May. We are also going to perform on the last week of May. We have a Pops concert that the high school students are already putting on that will showcase several of our groups here at the high school. And our hope and goal is to take the marching band for next year and have you guys play the opener at the Pops concert. Okay? Just to kind of give a preview and a taste of what all that's going to sound like. Full drum line, full big huge wind sound, even a guard part to it. So we're going to try to do everything and make it as close to a performance as we possibly can. Okay? And so that's the goal of those May shows, is just to kind of get your whistle wet and kind of just get you a taste of what's going to happen and how awesome this activity is. Okay? Past that, I'll get into the calendar later, but I wanted, while the students were here, just to kind of let you know what those dates were. Now, at this time, I'm going to take the students and I'm going to say, follow these two gentlemen, and you guys are going to go down to the band room and hang out, because parents, we're going to talk about all the nitty-gritty, wild and wonderful stuff that entails what marching band is. And if you're wondering what I'm doing up here with 17 different iPads, we've got this new technology called Switcher that allows me to do streaming. That's how we're streaming, and I can actually show everybody at home our handbook and the calendar. So that's what they're doing there. Okay, so let's go through this handbook super fast. Okay, first couple pages are just a title page. There's a whole welcome page, big letter, that does say welcome to our family. One thing that we do try to emphasize here is that we're a family. I will tell you right now that during the marching season, Mr. McLeod, Mr. Winchester, myself, and the rest of our staff will probably see your children more than you will. I definitely will see your kids more than I will see my own. Okay? And so we have to be a family in order for that all to work. It's fun. We get into fights. We get into hugs. We get into everything. Okay? Just like any other family would. And we all work together for one common goal, and the kids have an absolute blast. And that's kind of the goal of everything, is to make sure the kids are having fun. Page 4 on there is a communications page. Just shows you where all we're going to send out communication through. If you're returning, we're still using Charms. If you're new, Charms is our main way of communication. Here in just a minute, I'm going to have you all go on before you leave and fill out a Google form that's going to give me some email stuff for you, and I can put you into our system so I can send you emails and you can get calendars and have all the financial stuff available to you. Okay? And there's a way to get on there. Now, I will tell you that it shows you step-by-step instructions on how to get onto Charms. If you are not currently in high school, if you do not currently have a high school student in our band program, you will not be in Charms until you get an email from me. Because it takes me a couple of days to put all of your information in there. So just wait till you get an email from me, and then you'll know that your Charms is set up and you can go in and log in via the instructions there. Another way we communicate is an app called the Band app. It literally was built for bands. It's now, you may have seen the commercial. I know the commercial runs on Hulu all the time. But it's a Facebook-like app. It's 100% free. We can post things, we can share files, we can put our calendar up there. You'll see all kinds of things. You can text me through that app. So that's one of the other ways we communicate. We also have a Facebook page, THN Bands. It's a private group, but if you search us out and find THN Bands, we will approve you. You have to answer like 2 questions. It just says, who's your kid and what do they play? Just to make sure that you're a real person. And then we accept you and you're in. And we send out information and updates that way. Handouts, just like in middle school, your kids are going to get hard copy handouts. And then now, we have a YouTube channel that's brand new, sort of brand new. It came about because of COVID. But Terre Haute North Bands is our YouTube channel, and we'll try to do some extra stuff on there this year since we have the technology to do that now. Okay? So Band Camp is the next page. Band Camp is the most important part of the year for marching band. What Band Camp entails is this week it's going to be 3 weeks long. And it's going to be, they're not actually camping here. We send them home back to you at the end of the day. But they're going to come here at 8 o'clock in the morning. For the first week of that camp, it's only 8 o'clock until noon. And we're going to focus largely on just music. And that's just a way to get them in and get them started. The next 2 weeks, so July 19th through July 30th, they're 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We do provide lunch, but you help supplement that lunch. Lunch is going to be here. They're not allowed to leave campus due to safety concerns, but we will provide them lunch. And the way you supplement that is that every section will have something like bring a jug of Gatorade, or bring a bag of chips or two, or bring a case of fruit or something in that nature. And then we have sandwiches, so it's cold cuts and peanut butter and jelly. We try to make sure that everybody, we take care of dietary concerns as well, but the children are fed while they're here. During those days, we learn how to march. We learn to drill to the show. They will be outside. They will be participating in physical activity. I'm going to tell you right now that you're going to have a kid that's going to come home at least one day and goes, "This is awful. I don't want to go back." And your job is to say, "I don't care. Get your butt back." Okay? Because it's going to be one of the hardest things they've done, especially knowing my kids. Your kids are probably the same, that most of June they're going to sit on their tail end and play video games all summer, right? Or watch movies, or watch YouTube, or Twitcher, or whatever else weird things that they watch now that I'm not hip enough to know about, okay? And so when they come to us and we're going to make them do physical activity for 4 hours during the day, it's going to be challenging, but they're going to get through it and they're going to love it, I promise. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the amount of people that come back year after year after year from this such a great activity. Okay? What they need to bring for that, they need to bring tennis shoes. They need to dress appropriately for outside weather. We're going to be outside most of the time. We do take heat into consideration. We try to go outside in the morning to where it's not as hot, and try to stay inside in the afternoon, but sometimes we're out all day. They do need to wear closed-toed tennis shoes. Crocs, flip-flops, no go. Okay, because of the nature of the activity, they will get hurt. They need to bring water, and one of those like big baseball will hook on the fence, gallon-sized jugs of water. Okay, sunglasses are great, hats great, sunscreen. Please reiterate to them when they come for band camp that it is not a time to tan. The worst thing that they will do is try to tan, and they will turn into red lobsters. And that's an awful way to go through band camp. So bring sunscreen. Pencil, instrument, obviously. Small spiral bound notebook, just literally one that's like note card size, that's a spiral bound. A fanny pack, yes, the old 1980s fanny packs. Okay, that way we can have granola bars at their ready. They can have their pencils while they're out marching around on the field. They'll need a 3-ring binder and some sheet protectors. On the next page, there's a typical schedule, and then the biggest thing for this one is hydration. Hydration, hydration, hydration. This starts well before camp ever starts. So I need you, and I'm asking you now, to when we get closer to camp, to start making them drink extra water every day. Okay, because the worst thing we want to have happen is for them to come to us and then get dehydrated, because then they're not good for anybody. Okay, so just get them drinking water daily. Okay, there gives you kind of a typical schedule that we have. Outside in the morning, inside in the afternoon. Again, that changes every now and again, just depending on weather. If it's 60 degrees outside in the afternoon, we're going outside, okay? I mean, and you laugh, but we went from 28 one day to 74 the next day, so it is Indiana, okay? The next part that I know we're all super excited about, fees. So our budget for marching band is over $30,000 to make this activity happen. Okay? There's no way we can charge you guys that full breakdown. So we do a ton of fundraisers, and we have a wonderful booster organization that's going to help us out with that. And I'm going to let them come up and introduce themselves and talk here in a bit. But what we do have to have are fees that go help cover some of this stuff. Now, for everybody, the fees this year have changed. For everybody, new or old. Okay? This year, all students across the board are $350. Doesn't matter if you're wind, guard, or percussion. All students across the board are $350. Plus marching shoes if you need them. What that is for new people, they have to have a special marching shoe. That shoe costs $40. It will last them all 4 years if they take care of it. Okay? So it's a one-time purchase if they can take care of it and assuming their foot doesn't grow 3 sizes. Okay? There's also a $50 volunteer fee that's on top of it. The good thing about the volunteer fee, if you come and volunteer for a minimum of 2 contests or games, in other words, a minimum of 2 of our performances, we wipe that volunteer fee clean. Okay? We need parents. We need help. Okay? What that entails is literally pushing stuff. You don't have to know anything about anything. There are times when we literally need you to push a bell kit out to the front, and the kids will go, it goes here. Okay, that's it. Okay, it might be something as easy as sitting on a bus to chaperone a bus on the way to contest. If you do that, you get into the contest for free. Okay, but we've got all kinds of volunteer activities that we need to have happen. Okay, what all of this covers is each kid will get 2 shirts. They will get a gray Terre Haute North band shirt. They will also get a show shirt for the year. That is our theme shirt. It helps with transportation. It covers the cost of our staff and our show, and the music and the drill to give to our students. It covers some of the equipment, and including the maintenance and rental fees for some of the equipment and stuff that we'll use for our show. Talked about the shoes there. And then there's some color guard extras as far as they will need some makeup stuff that is not included in those fees because that's personal makeup items and we don't really go there. Okay? We'll go to the next one, individual accounts. This is where Charms comes into play. Each of you will have an individual account for your student that you can keep track of all of your fees throughout the year and throughout the 4 years that they are here. It'll go on to that system. You can pay us through that system, through PayPal. You can write us a check and deliver it to us, and we even have a place where we can take credit cards. Okay? There are some discounts. Number one, if you have siblings, you get a 10% discount for each extra child that you have in. And if you pay in full by the first payment deadline, we'll knock off $25 right off the top. So what are those payment deadlines? We don't want to make this a financial burden for anyone. So we try to spread out the payments so you're not hit with $350 up front. The first payment deadline is July 12th. If you'll notice, that's the first day of band camp, and it's $100. And then we have 3 other payments that are basically a month apart that are anywhere from $80 to $90, which all adds up to $350. So you're looking at about $100 a month. That will cover you for all of your marching band fees. Okay? Any questions about the fee structure? If you have a financial hardship or problem with paying the fees, please come talk to me. We will never keep a student out of doing band because we can't pay for it. Okay? We will figure out a way to make it happen. Just come talk to me and let me know. Okay? All right. The next one is payment options. We prefer checks or money orders just because then there's a paper trail. If you hand me cash or if you hand your student cash, there's no paper trail when it comes to me necessarily. We have had students before who were given $200 for cash and they gave me 100 of it, swore up and down that they gave me 200 of it, but then magically got a brand new video game that afternoon as well. Okay, not that your child would do that, but that's a stated case that has happened in the past. So just make sure that's why we prefer checks or money order. You can do PayPal. Again, if you log into Charms, you can do that. Once you pay, if your payment doesn't show up on Charms within 2 weeks, just shoot me an email. I may have missed it, but I try to log those in as quick as I can. As far as those payments are concerned, we do fundraising throughout the year. And when the boosters come and talk about this here in a minute, I think you have, Stephanie, do you have chill out information we're going to be able to give? So we have a couple of big ones that even start during the summer. That are going to be, the ones that start in the summer are big enough to literally pay all your fees for the entire year. So there are opportunities to do marching band for completely free. Okay, but we do have opportunities to do fundraising throughout the entire year, and especially this year, as of right now, assuming that COVID goes away, is a Disney year, meaning that Sometime in the spring semester, generally speaking, it's during spring break, we will be going to Disney, the marching band will. We go to Disney World for a week. That entails, generally speaking, 3 days at Walt Disney World in 3 different parks. We go to Universal Studios for the day where they get the park hopper. And if they're huge Harry Potter fans, they get to see both sides of the Harry Potter world. I can't stand Harry Potter, but it's still a really cool activity and it's still a really cool exhibit. We also generally go to the beach for a day. But they get to perform in Disney World as well. The last 3 times we've gone, we've performed in walking down Main Street Disney in Magic Kingdom. And I can tell you as an adult walking down and coming down Main Street Disney with a castle in the background, it's a really cool experience, even if I'm in a black suit and it's 100 degrees outside. But it's still really fun and a really cool experience. And so that's something that's only available to marching band students. Okay, so that is an extra, of course, an extra fee going into that. But that fundraising will go to that too. If you do more fundraising than your fees this year, that carries over to the next couple of years. As long as your student's in school, that will carry over for those years. All right, before I let the boosters come up and talk, any questions so far about anything I've talked about? Going once, going twice. Cool. Boosters, who's going to be the guinea pig that has to come up and talk? You drew straws.
I think I figured this out.
What happened?
I turned mine off. Yours works.
Hi everyone, my name's Stephanie Cloutier and I am the current booster president. I see some familiar faces and some new ones, so the boosters want to welcome you. My daughter's graduating this year, so this is my last year in the band. I'll be back in another year, so I'll get to see some of you guys later on. The boosters are an organization that come in to support the band. There's no cost or fees to become a booster. Once your child is in the band, you are a booster, and you are a booster for life. So that means you can come back and help anytime you want. The boosters are here to support the directors and to help the kids get everything that they need to have done. So that means we're pushing, pulling, feeding, working the smoothies, doing all sorts of things to make things easier for the kids. So when your kids say, Mom, Dad, please don't come, I don't want you there, they really truly do want you there and to be involved. They really do like to see that, and it's so neat to see the kids from coming in to freshmen that are scared little ones to independent seniors by the end of the year, so it's a really neat thing to do. We have booster meetings that meet on the first Tuesday of every month, and our next meeting, since we're doing these, we're going to hold one next Tuesday, the 13th at 7 o'clock, and I believe we'll be in the band auditorium, band room auditorium. We'll post it on Facebook if you guys want to join, or if you write down your cell phone, we can text you, however that works for you, if you guys would like to join us on those meetings. At those meetings, we talk about our financial status, where we are, things that we need help with for the upcoming contest or fundraiser that we're going to be doing. And so that is where you're going to find a lot of information. The more you get involved and the more you find out about the organization, there's a whole big world that goes on besides the kids just going out and marching. We talked about fundraisers. We have a fundraiser that will be coming up called Chill Out. And that is where we go to the India 500 track and we sell pretzels, ice cream, and lemonade, delicious lemonade. And so if you're interested in signing those up, what you do is we sign you up. You go to Indianapolis on the certain days. We'll be doing qualifications, the Grand Prix, and race day. You go there about 6 o'clock in the morning. They give you a little cute hat and shirt, and you sell all these goodies. Whatever the group makes, so however many booths we have, we get 10% of those sales. And whoever signs up for those kids, then that's divided between the band kids and parents. So if you have 7 family members come and work Chill Out, you're going to probably pay for your fees for your kids. We've had years where we've made $25 a day for working, up to where we've made $100 a day working. So it just depends on how busy your booth is and how well things are going. As of right now, they're telling us that we're going to have the race and that we are going to be able to do this. So if you're interested at the end of this, If you want to come up and write your email and a phone number for me, if you're interested in any of those dates, we can get the information out to you about those. We also have what's called our corporate sponsors, and this is for you guys to go out into the community and get the community involved with the band so that you can get money to come into the band. So we have different sponsorships that can be done for this. This goes on the back of our trailers. It also goes in our banner that we put out at every game, so that way you guys can see those. So any corporates you can do would be great. So if you want any of those sheets, you can raise your hand and I'll bring those out to you. We do tons of fundraisers, but fundraisers are something that we always need ideas for because there are tons of different fundraisers out there. We know some that work and some don't. But we do have fundraisers. Since this is a Disney year, we will try to do our best to get fundraisers going for you guys. But of course, we don't want to bombard you with a fundraiser every 2 weeks. But we will do our best so that you will have money from those fundraisers coming in for your fees. I think I'm good. Thank you.
All right, so the biggest thing that we talk about, and it's on the next page too, is that what can you expect from this, and what are our expectations from you and your expectations too. Information, our number one complaint is that your students don't communicate to you. I know it's a shocker, but we get it that your students, if I hand something to your kid, that they're probably not gonna hand it to you. But trust me when I say that when I hand it to your kid to hand to you, it's also gone out in email. It's also on that newfangled Canvas stuff that we have now. It's on the Facebook page. It's on the band app. It's somewhere you can find it, I promise, okay? And so just make sure that on kind of a day-by-day basis, you're asking, hey, did you get anything from the band director today? Did you get anything about fundraising or anything like that? Because we probably gave them to you, okay? You're going to be a taxi / Uber or Lyft service. Your kids are going to need rides. All we ask is that you just, if we say we're going to end at 9 o'clock, a couple of things. Realize that one, that means that's when our rehearsal is going to end. That doesn't mean that your child is going to be ready to go home at 9 o'clock. Does that make sense? Because we're going to practice out on the parking lot over where, if you saw the First Financial trailer, that's where that parking lot, that's our practice field. Our rehearsal ends at 9. It's going to take them about 10 minutes to put everything up, and then they'll be ready to go. The only thing we ask is that just be there. Don't, because we've been there all day too, and we want to go home as much as your kid wants to go home. So just be there relatively close to the pickup time as you can. And the biggest thing is support. Like Stephanie said, most of your kids are going to tell you, and I did the same thing with my parents. I told them, please don't come. I don't want you to come. You're going to embarrass the crap out of me. Don't show up. This is dumb. And then the first thing I did when I got out on the marching band field and I was playing was I looked for mom and dad to see if they were there. And so that's whether they tell you they want you there or not, they want you there. They want to see you there. Just show up. And all of our rehearsals are open. If you want to come watch your kid rehearse, come watch them rehearse. I will tell you that at the end of every single rehearsal, we do a full run through of whatever we know at that point, and we perform it. You're more than welcome to come sit and watch those, okay? Couple things about medical conditions. You will have eventually, and we'll give these out at the May rehearsals, some medical release forms that give to us just so we can keep on top of what any medical issues that we need to know about. I know COVID-19 is a big deal for all of us right now. And yes, the mask mandate has lifted today, but that doesn't involve the schools. I will tell you that we take that very seriously, and there's this whole big Colorado study that's come out. We stay 6 feet apart. We're getting ready to have a concert on Thursday. It's going to be in the gym instead of in the auditorium so that our students can be 6 feet apart. They play with masks on. So we actually have musicians' masks that they will play with and play their instruments with. We have bell covers that we've spent to get so that the aerosols don't come out of the end of their bells. So yeah, it looks a little bit silly, but we want to make sure that we are as safe for all the students and parents and us too as we possibly can be. You can read some more about some of that stuff as well. And then general rules and things like that. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was just the calendar. So if you'll kind of look at the calendar, and I'll kind of just go over the gist of what we do. And I apologize for those people who are online. This is going to take me a second to change this. There we go. Okay. So I already talked about May. If you'll notice, June, there's nothing there yet. I can tell you there's going to be some percussion rehearsals. Mr. Winchester has already said he wants to have a couple of percussion camps. So we're going to have those there as well. Then if we look in July, Leadership Day. Those are going to be for some of our section leaders and our drum majors. And then our music camps and band camp, we've talked about those as well. If you have a vacation already scheduled for band camp or the music camp, please let me know. Please don't look up and go, well, you can't do band now because we're not going to be there for those days. Because I will tell you right now, due to COVID stuff, I'm going to be missing a day and a half of band camp. Because I had tickets to the Hecka Mega Tour. It's actually something else, but I'm afraid to say it because I'll get in trouble. Anyway, it's Weezer and Weezer and Blink-182 and Fall Out Boy. Yes, I'm a 90s kid. I love them. And I was supposed to go last summer, and it got canceled, and it got moved to this year. And so I'm getting on a plane on Tuesday morning at like 6 a.m. and flying down to Atlanta, watching the concert, and then flying back into Indianapolis at 6 a.m. on Wednesday to be here by noon on Wednesday for the other days of band camp. So there, okay? So if I can miss a day, it's okay if you miss a day or so, okay? So if you have a vacation or something planned, it's okay. Just let me know, and we'll work with it to make sure that you're accommodated, okay? Getting into August, we rehearse Tuesdays and Thursdays and Mondays this year. We've added an extra rehearsal. We're going to rehearse Mondays right after school. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. On those days, Mr. McLeod or myself will stay at school. One of us, we usually switch off. One of us is here on Tuesday, one of us is here on Thursday. If your kid wants to hang out here at school from 3:30 until 6 o'clock, let them hang out, okay? Let them get their homework done and just hang out in the band room. Kids bring Xbox, and we've hooked up everything else in our band room television for the in-between time. It's perfectly fine. If they want to go home and come back, great, go home and come back, okay? But those are our rehearsal days. We do perform at every home football game, okay? And so right now, there's the schedule that we have that is subject to change a little bit, but it shouldn't, okay? We do rehearse on Saturdays as well if we don't have a contest. Now, our contests are in the Indianapolis area, and we already know where we're going, and so they are Saturdays in September, September 11th, 18th, and 25th. They will be in Brownsburg, New Palestine, and Avon. No, I don't know what time yet, okay? But generally speaking, it's an all-day adventure, okay? We will have a community show and an 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. rehearsal on October the 2nd. Okay, where we do a lot of fun activities with the kids as well, but that's in our push to our ISMA, which is the Indiana State School Music Association. That's our conference, if you will, where that's going to be our state finals, okay? So we're going to push into that. We'll have our ISMA prelims on October 9th. On October 22nd, you see this thing called BOA, that's Bands of America. That contest is in Lucas Oil Stadium. And yes, it's on a Friday. Yes, your students will miss school on Friday. And we'll go down to Indianapolis, and they get to perform in Lucas Oil Stadium. It's a really neat experience for them all, because they'll be on the Jumbotron, and it's just really neat. I mean, the first thing I do when I walk out is I'm like, ooh, am I on the Jumbotron? Okay, so they'll get to perform there where the Indianapolis Colts play, okay? And then the next day is our finals, okay? We will have a home show on October the 2nd for sure, and then we'll have a banquet the following week after our finals. That date has yet to be determined yet. We're still waiting to clear some things up for availability of our school. Okay, so our season basically runs through October, all right? In general, we perform at every football game. We do pregame, we do halftime show, we stay all the way until the end of the game. Win, lose, or draw, we will perform the fight song at the end of the football game. That is marching band's actual main job. That was what we were made to do. If it wasn't for football, to be fair, there would be no marching band. And so that's our first job, is to support our football team. We play, we do a lot of loud stuff for them, and then they get the third quarter off. And during the third quarter, they can go eat, they can come talk to you, they can do whatever. And then at the end of the third quarter, they're back with us until the end of the game. And then our contest days are all in Indy. If you have family in Indianapolis or want to have an extra day in Indianapolis, we do allow you, once we go down to Indianapolis, to sign your student out and take them home with you following our performance, because a lot of times we won't be getting home until 11, 12 o'clock at night, depending on how late awards are. Again, this is all assuming that COVID has played out by the time all this comes through next year, okay? A lot of information. Are there any questions? Yes?
Are the Mondays, is that everybody?
Yes, that's everybody, okay? Any other questions? Okay. If you have questions, you can email me. There is one thing that I would like for you to do, if you could, and I just lost it on the feed, but that's okay. If you will go to thnbands.org. So right now on your cell phones, go to thnbands.org. That's our handy dandy website. On thnbands.org, the opening page has a bunch of stuff, and then right underneath where it says Marching Band Parent Meeting, it says Information Form, and there's a link to click on. Click on that form, please. It's going to ask you several questions about your email address, your student's email address. If you could give me their school email address, if they know it, that'd be great. Otherwise, just an email address for them, just a way for us to get in contact with you. It's going to ask you middle school, what instrument they play, shirt size, and their current grade. Their current grade. And I just realized that I didn't put down 8th grade as an option. So if they're an 8th grader, just put freshman, and I'll figure it out, because I know who my freshmen are. Okay? Yep.
I just feel the phone away from you. When you get to the main page, what am I clicking on?
There's a link that says form.
Okay, sorry.
Yep, information form.
All right, thank you.
And if you guys can just fill that out, that'll automatically shoot me your information. I'll take that and be able to create your Charms accounts with that. If you're already a returning person, if you could just fill it out anyway, because that's going to help me get numbers for what we're doing. And I can go back in and update your Charms information if needed. Okay? Other than that, I don't have too much more to say, other than I invite you all to, if you don't come to our concert on Thursday, it will stream on the YouTube channel at 6:30, and you can watch our jazz band and our combined concert bands. Other than that, if there's no other questions for me, have a wonderful day or night. And if you do come up with any questions, just shoot me an email, and I'll make sure to try to answer it.